Hey, Motorcycle.com viewers, Tom Roderick here. In front of me is the 2025 Honda CB1000 Hornet SP. This is kind of the special version of the Hornet, I guess. There are two versions, but we don't get the standard one. That's in Europe only, but we do get the SP. And, you know, we spent a couple hundred miles riding this thing today. We're actually in Sacramento, so we headed east. We went up through the mountains, had some really good curvy roads to go ride. You know, different types of asphalt, so it gave us a pretty good idea of how this thing handles in different circumstances. And, you know, for the most part, it's going to get a double thumbs up. It was a, you know, very neutral handling bike, but yet it was, you know, not eager, but just willing to get into the corners, take, you know, fast corners at speed, get through the slower corners, no problem. I was really happy with the suspension setup that they had. You know, not much time to really fiddle with it, but you do have a fully adjustable fork and shock. You've got an Öhlins shock on the rear. The seating position was, you know, for, you know, your naked bike, pretty good rider triangle. There's a lot of room. I'm 5'11". I had no problem with, you know, leg room or knee bend. You know, reach to the bars is kind of just where you would want to have it. The bars were a nice width going down the freeway. You know, I liked it there too. It was pretty good. It's got a pretty narrow seat to tank juncture. My only complaint would be it seems like the seat continues to be kind of cut and narrow too far back, and it started just, you know, riding on your butt, like, you know, where you should be a little more flattened out and wider. You know, it's kind of sitting on this little edge. You could scoot back a little bit, solve that problem, but then, you know, your arms are a little bit more stretched out. So, you know, minor gripe, but that was one. Engine-wise, I was told this inline-four cylinder was based on the 2017 CBR1000 engine. Of course, they massaged it from there to make it more streetable, you know, more low-end, more mid-range grunt. And for the bike that it is, you know, it was really good, especially if you stay above 6,500 RPM. From 6,500 RPM up, this thing's just, you know, fantastic. It's a ripper. The downside, the biggest complaint I'm going to have about this new model is the mid-range. From about 45 to 6,500 RPM, there's a flat spot. Now, is that because this bike meets Euro 5 emissions? Possibly, I don't know. Maybe, you know, a different exhaust pipe, maybe an ECU flash could help take care of that. But, you know, in some of the sections that we were doing, especially like in the, say, 20-mile-an-hour or slower corners, something you would want to be in second gear and just kind of, you know, pull through and use the torque of a liter-sized bike to get out of, it would kind of fall flat on its face. So basically forcing you to ride down in first gear. You know, problem solved. It just makes, you know, the throttle a little, you know, more twitchier trying to get through the corner and out smoothly. Other than that, the engine performance was really good. I like the feel at the twist grip. Now, they do have 3 power modes. They have 3 levels of engine braking, and they have 3 levels of traction control, and all of those are adjustable independently. They have, you know, Rain, Sport, Standard, which are going to be your automatically selected ones, and then you have 2 user modes. And in the user modes, you can set those however you want. And, you know, honestly, for the most part, I put this in sport mode, highest power, lowest engine braking, lowest amount of TC, and, you know, I was perfectly happy with that. You know, I did play around with the settings. I took user mode, I left the power high, because I really wanted to see what the engine braking was like. So I set it medium and set it at high, and I could just switch between those. You know, it was noticeable, you could feel a little bit more engine braking, but the lowest setting of engine braking wasn't enough for me. You know, you could still feel the engine braking as you kind of rolled into a corner. I would like to see the engine braking brought down even more, you know, more two-stroke style. So when you roll up the throttle, it just kind of freewheels right in. But it is nice that it's adjustable that way. There's some other things going on in your screen up here. It's pretty cool. You can select 3 different designs as far as, you know, the layout for the tag, speedo, that type of thing. But the one that we had, I thought was probably the most useful. It's not overloaded with information. Everything's, you know, pretty easy at a glance, just to decipher, get the information you want, you know, gear position indicator, that type of thing. Kudos to Honda because it comes with a bi-directional quickshifter. And I mean, a lot of times at around town speeds, quickshifters just, you know, aren't that great. They work better at speed. I found this thing, no matter what, around town speed, out in the canyons, on the freeway, and mostly either direction. You're going up, you're going down. It worked really well. Very smooth shifting, both directions. Now, Honda also, you can adjust that. They have, you know, a low, medium, high as far as the pressure that you put on the shift lever itself. Now, honestly, I didn't futz with that anything today because, I mean, I like the low setting. I'm not sure why you would want to have it like a harder, you know, more pressure needing to shift, but everybody's a little different. I thought it did great the way it was. It's not like so light that the wind's going to shift gears for you, so, you know, I like the feeling that it gave. So retail price, $10,999. Again, it's pretty much in the affordability range for this type of motorcycle. Electronics-wise, it is missing cruise control. You know, not a big deal. It's just when we were coming back, you know, doing some freeway riding for a while, that's when I thought, oh, hey, it's missing that. Otherwise, I mean, it's been a while actually since I've ridden an inline-four liter bike naked like this. You know, I was really happy. There wasn't a lot of buzz. Especially like at freeway speed, 6th gear. It was, you know, very smooth. Didn't get a really chance to test the passenger seat. That's a little bit questionable. It's got a pretty narrow little seat back here, so I'm not sure, you know, how much that's going to do if you do take somebody for a ride. But, you know, the bike's built a little bit more for performance and comfort. So that's it in a nutshell for the new 2025 Honda CB1000 Hornet SP. If you want more information, make sure to go to Motorcycle.com and read the story there.